Okay guys, today I'm taking a little break out of making a saddle, which I'll show you briefly in a minute, but somebody asked online how to sharpen a croup punch, so I'm going to show you how to sharpen this. First of all, if you ignore the tripod that's on my board, I'll show you what a mess a saddler works in. And this is my board. You can see all my junk to side. This is, ignore this, but this is my tools. Bits of cloth. I'm doing patterns. I'm actually doing a video on saddle making, and this is the part of the saddle I'm making. Let me just drag that forward for you. As I say, I just have a wee break so I can do this croup punch. This is an old traditional way of doing back shear, all these holes along here, and this is one that I've put the back onto already. You can see it's all stitched. This is your seat cut out. Well, that's the seat first of all that we're making. This is a GP tree. That's the other back there. Let me get that out of the way. And let me throw that on there. You can see, oops, sorry, didn't see I was off camera there. This is the seat that's been cut out. It's been blocked, it's been cut out. And then it'll come round here. And let me see what I've got on skirts. So this skirt here. That's the skirt there that's going to go onto it. Looks all a mess at the moment, but it depends how fast my hand seaming is. I haven't hand seamed for years, but I'm going to be hand seaming this one. And but I would imagine I'll have the seat on in a couple of hours, I would imagine. Depends, as I say, how slow I am. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. That's the mess of my board. That's my buff sticks there. Let me just dump this out of the way. As I say, there's my tripod. It's always fun doing videos where to put the bloody camera here, I can tell you. Right, that's that junk out of the way. Okay, bear with me. I'm just going to put this back on the tripod and then we'll get back on with the video. Most people who look at my videos knows I don't like to waffle, just like to get straight on with it. But I thought it'd be interesting for you to see the camera, the mess of my board and the saddle. Okay, so this is a croup punch, typical croup punch. It should be, most of my tools are always reasonably sharp here. Actually I can see some rubbish edges on the inside of this, so maybe it's not as sharp as I think. I use an oil stone. It's very rare I oil my stone, but you should oil it. When I first bought this stone it was really dry, yeah? So I poured oil on it and oil on it, 3-in-1 oil, and now yeah, it's well oiled, so I don't really put that much on it now, but I do add to it. Some people like to put oil on and then work it. Okay, so here you go. It's a simple move. All we got to do is sharpen obviously the edge round here. See if I can get something to stop my thing slipping about here. You see that one there? So I like to put my finger on it, lift it up at an angle because you see it's at an angle, and then run it back the way. This is not going to work. Hang on. Let me get rid of this board. I put that board there hoping it'd show up on the camera that little bit extra. Okay, hopefully it doesn't slip here. Okay, so let me zoom in as well if we can. Okay, so as I said, at an angle, and then I like to drag it back the way. As I'm dragging it back, I like to give it a little turn. So what I'm actually doing is I'm turning it this way as I go, and then I'll get round to the other side, and then all the way. So here we go. This is me starting to turn it now. All my tools are reasonably sharp, so this wouldn't need much. This wouldn't need much sharpening. Yeah, if anything, I would have put it on the polishing wheel just to get rid of the dirt and grease. You can see that's turning round as I go. There's no reason why you can't do that. Yeah, there's no reason at all. Some people like to go back and forward on it. I've seen in the factories that I've worked in. I just like to drag it one way. Yeah. That's me turning round again. Now, I could quite easily spend a good 5 minutes doing that with these. Not so much with my knives, but with these I tend to do it. I don't know why, but I can easily spend a good 5 minutes. But you can see it's starting to get some gunk inside there. The next thing, yeah, as I say, I would take longer than this. So I'm just going through the motion to show you how it's done. But I would normally take a lot longer. Let me jump to the next stage, because as I say, I know mine are sharp. Buff sticks. Whoops. Let me just zoom you out for my buff stick. There you go. So this is my buff stick. I've had comments, you know, why is my stick so big? Yeah, it's because I'm a show off. Now the real reason is because my round knife. If you're sharpening a round knife, you certainly don't want to be working on a little stick down here. You just take your hand off. So we use a big stick, and then that way we can bring your knife up and down to polish the round knife. Yeah, so that's why we use I use a big stick. These sticks, this one I've probably made. This other one is lying next to me here. This is easy. You can see the way the wood is. I mean, this is easy, 40 or 50 years old. I got it off some old saddler. I say old saddler, I'm an old saddler now myself. Yeah. But anyway, so back to your crew punch. I like to give it a polish. This is carbon umbrium powder that's on tallow fat on a piece of leather. On the other side it's just a plain piece of leather. Some people put sandpaper on the other side, a fine sandpaper, but for a polish I like a plain piece of leather. So okay, down it goes. And again I'm back to this turning business. So that's me starting to turn now. I'll do it in slow motion for you to show you what I'm doing. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. I'm turning it all the way around and dragging it in one direction. So I'm starting to turn now. Again, I would normally take slightly longer than this, as I say, but I'm just trying to show you the way I do it, and then you can take all the time. Either that would end up with a 20-minute video showing you how to sharpen one round punch. So I flip it to the other side. I get a piece of just a normal piece of leather here. Same thing. I'll just do it again. I'm just turning it all the way around. So. And the other thing about having a good buff stick or a big strop is that you can get this long arm movement rather than these tiny movements. You can do it long, giving it more of a polish. Okay, the big one people keep asking me is, now I've sharpened the outside, what do I do on the inside? And actually I can feel that there. I don't know if I'll try and zoom in, see if it shows you on camera. Here we go. There's actually a burr. You can see all the rubbish in here. So how I get rid of this burr in here, I'll just zoom back out. And then let me see if I can adjust this camera just over this direction a little bit. Got to adjust the legs and stuff on it. Yeah, I'm never ever going to be a cameraman, I can tell you that. While I'm doing this I could tell you horrible jokes. I think that should do us about there. Okay, there's a couple of ways how to get rid of this burr is what we're talking about. You can get a piece of sandpaper. I haven't a clue what grit it is, let me see. I just use sandpaper, it just feels right to me. This says number 100 on it. I'm just looking for a fine sandpaper at this point. So I can get a piece of sandpaper, cut a strip, and then feed it inside, all the way around. Feed it in there. This is not what I do. Let me see. Yes, that's it. Okay, so then I'll hold it onto the board here, and then I pull it down. So pull it down. This is one way of doing it. And then I would flip it and do the same thing. Yeah, pull it all the way down now. And that should get rid of the burr. The bit on the side, either side here, just hold the sandpaper to the side. I said this is one way. Again, I'm going to tell you it's not the way I do it most of the time. I do it, but it's not the way I do it most of the time. But yeah, you can see that it's took away quite a bit of the edge already on it. Again, spend more time on it. This is how I do it. Always on the side of my board, I've got a piece of leather here. Now, if I can find my other tool, yeah. This is my, I think you call it a French shave. Some people, we just call it a straightforward skirt shave. And what I use this for, just to show you, is to take this edge off my skirts, hence the reason it's called a skirt shave. Yeah. Okay, so this is always on my board. And it's just here, and then as simple as that, I just pull it down, a piece of leather, and then that polishes it. Hang on. Now for the crew punch, this is a piece of attach. This is not my board. It's only for when I'm doing camera work I go here. My board's got an old scabby piece of leather attached to it. It's been well worn. It's just, as I say, it's always there, always used. And next to it is a piece of thick thread. I use a thick thread for, I think I actually did a video on it, so you can check the video. When I'm doing edge strips, then I can pull the thread down and that takes the burr off on that. So okay, back to this. This is just a plain piece of leather. You can put tallow fat on it, anything you want. So I'm making a hash of this, hang on. There you go. And I've nailed it to the board. So okay, this is how I get rid of the burr. Simple as that. And then now I'm working on the corners of it now by just twisting it to the side there, like that, and then I can pull it down. You can see what it's doing there. Same for the other side. And that's how I get rid of the burr. Now let's flip it round, and then I'm doing the other side. And that's polishing the inside. We already know the outside's polished because I did it in the buff stick. And then it's back to my corners there, and then whip it off. And that looks fairly clean. Where are you? There you go. Now, I could go and get a piece of leather and then bang a hole. You're going to have to trust me, because if I did that, my camera's going to go in the ground. So I'm not actually going to punch a hole. So I'll go back over it really, really fast. We get our oil stone. You can apply oil if you want. And then we pull it down in a direction at the same time as turning it here. You can, if you want, say 7 times this way, 7 times this way, 7 times, and then keep turning it. I tend to just turn it as I go. After that, I put it on my buff stick, drag it down the buff stick, at the same time as I say turning it. Let me show you, see, turning in my hand there, so that's what I'm doing. Then I put it on my plain piece of leather, down there. You can, if you want, fold a piece of sandpaper, put that in the inside, and then drag it down to get rid of the burr. Or you can do as I do, a piece of leather here. Again, you could put tallow fat on this leather if you want, a piece of wax on this leather if you want. But attach it to the board for easiness, make it a nice long piece of leather, drag it down. There we go. Okay guys, that's my tea break over. I'm going to get back into making this saddle. Thanks very much for your time.